All right, I do have 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting of Budget and Finance here for our July meeting together. I'll call it into order. If you will, review the minutes from the June 16th budget hearings. I think that's the only set of hearings that have not been approved in committee already.
Been approved in committee?
We did in the last one, I believe. In the June 16th, we approved the ones before, if I remembered it correctly. We can do them all again if you want to. I saw them all in here, but if I went back and looked, we had them in the 16th.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's awesome.
Not a problem at all. Nothing wrong with double qualifying. I like the way you approached that, Mr. Gregory. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Our minutes are approved and a permanent part of our budget record. All right, if you will, next item. This is where we subset our committee here for just a second. It's the 5 members on this voting, and I guess actually Mr. Gregory, Mr. Dennis, Miss Atwood, myself, and Mr. Ford would be those 5 members, if I remember that correctly, but Mr. Ford's absent today. So it'd be those 4 looking at, everybody can look at it, but that's the 4 voting members on purchasing. This is a statute committee on that reasoning. It is a 5-member by statute. It cannot be past 5 by Trousdale County's charter. I think the only way to change a charter is to have a charter revision committee and go through a bunch of pieces. So just telling you why that's the case. I looked over these earlier. I did not see anything that jumped out. If anyone does, let us know. I know the Blankenship was up, but that's a pretty good price, in my opinion, for that fire truck that was completed back into service. Hey, we'll take it. That seems like a pretty cheap number to get that truck back in service working condition. Also benefited us by having 2 trucks. Now 2 brush trucks are available.
Yes.
I think we had to, insurance paid for the other truck, and we bought this one back and paid for this. So it was not an insurance cover. That would be money out of our account. We purchased the other truck because they totaled this truck. We purchased it back. Okay. Yeah, that, I don't think that will be an insurance dollar. We purchased that truck back because we knew the truck had very few runs on it and had a frame. Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you, Sheriff. I just wasn't going to go there. Yes, sir. I actually drove by and saw it. I was like, we just finished getting that thing. I saw it wrecked. I was like, oh, okay. But yes, sir, you're exactly. Get excited a little bit. Yes, sir. That's it. That's it. Commissioner Gregory, do you have your hand up?
Yeah. Just had a question. Just looking at this purchasing stuff, the Smith County Solid Waste, does that number? Obviously, I know our what we're paying them went up. Is that all 3 months increased in that number?
I don't have that information with me right now.
Um,
I just don't think that's
be getting closer to the fact that we increased by $20 a ton on the garbage side of things, plus the time of year in which people do that thing called spring cleaning. You sometimes at that time of year end up with more waste. So $20, we went up $20, a little over, if I remember my numbers correctly, we went from 36
I think it went
to
like 37 to 50.
50, 13 something.
Yeah, so
So
that's
pretty-
fine. That's fine. Like I said, I was just curious if that was all 3 months at the higher rate, that way we might get an idea of what it might look like going forward.
All right, any other questions on? If not, from that committee, of course, as I said, this will be the purchasing committee, Mr. Ford. You will be part of purchasing it. We're doing that part first. We're on page, I'm sorry, page 22, I believe. And purchasing committee, I would entertain a motion to approve the purchases for the, from April through June. I have a motion by Ms. Atwood, a second by Mr. Gregory, Bubba Gregory. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? Understood completely, sir. We have 4 ayes and 1 abstain, for cause. Financial statements, if you will, looking at trustees' cash balance, starting on the page 23.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Dennis?
um, forgive me if I'm looking at this wrong. Did we have some CDs mature that we didn't reinvest? Um,
Where are you at?
304 and 306. Or no, I'm sorry. 301 through 303. The beginning balance was X and ending balance. Looks like they have.
Matured with no money
matured
on?
out.
I will look into that.
Am I looking at that right or am I looking at it wrong?
It looks to be correct. I'll look into that piece, though. I'm not sure if those are, I need to look at which ones those CDs are. I believe our CDs were with First National that, and I think the water department might have the CDs. Do you have what number that is? I think the water department has their CDs. I don't know that we've got one at Wilson Bank and Trust that's county. It comes under our county, but I will look into that. I didn't catch that. Good catch. Any other questions here? If not, moving forward, we can take all this as one motion at the end if everybody's okay with that. As we've done the past year, next page 24 is a comparison from where we are from June to June there. 24 to 25 comparison. Commissioner Gregory, it looks good to see those expenses down in the 111 there.
$2 million award.
Yeah, large grant. Um, in the EMS 118, Ms. Amy, I had meant to ask you this the other day and I forgot to send it, getting school back ready to start. I guess I've lost it. What was the, is that 90% indicated of a new, is it indicative of the change? Now, that would be this year's budget. So what is that 90% there? It was 77 the year before. It's at 90 this time. It seems to be 13% higher on a $1 million. It's a pretty big chunk of money.
Thankfully, we just didn't budget as much this year.
So there was less money. That was actually where I was looking at that piece. There were some pennies, but taken on the budget out of that one. Okay.
Cut back on the medical personnel, because that was buffered quite a bit. And the part-time, we cut back on that this year, so.
There we go. Of course, debt service, it's good to know we were able to spend out 100% of debt service. We're able to pay our debts. All right, moving from there. 101, general services. Remember that this is your June. Should be the 100% physical. This is your looking at the revenue side. I might mention the 4210. I've been keeping my eye on that. If you've listened around us, a lot of our surrounding counties, especially those that really depend on a lot of sales tax, Wilson, Sumner, are noticing a heavy decrease is what that you've been seeing. So might be something to keep our eyes on. Ours looks pretty strong still, though. Remember, they run 2 months behind, so it looks plenty strong. But it may be something for us to keep our eyes on going forward. That's been a blessing to this county since the rules there, I guess you would say, changed, in which items ordered to this county get sales tax to this county instead of, or to the address that they are delivered to, for any entity ordered from that makes over 500,000, I believe is the number on that. So it's been a blessing for this county. And has greatly carried us since 2021, I guess is when that went into effect. But we've become reliant, so be careful to watch it, is what I'm saying. Mr. Ford? Mr. Ford, hang on just a second. Go ahead.
I think that new road to got, when you buy it, tax is coming back to the state, and I would assume it's coming back to us if it comes out of this county. I know I just bought some stuff out of New York, and the tax, they put tax on it, but they used my address, so I don't know if, I'm assuming it came to the state and then back to us. That's the way it's working, so that online tax is gonna help us quite a bit.
Well, it already has. It came in 2020. Yes, sir. It came in 2020. So we just need to be careful though that it doesn't, we watch it. It's been something we've relied on since 2020, 2021, I believe is actually when we first started seeing the money. It was voted on in 2020, started seeing money in 2021. Just keep your eyes on it though. The one thing is the entity has to make more than $500,000. It runs 2 months behind. Just keep eyes on that. Revenues came in at 104%, which is always strong to see. Now, on the other side of that, revenues, I know you see the 79.4%. Remember, that's with grants. The without grants, so we're just looking at money we budgeted from our county money, not grants that were to be brought in, came in at 104%. Always strong to see. Where revenues, uh, have gone out at, lost my page there. Where expenditures have gone out at 88.3%. Always good to see those. Now, remember, in the 101 and things of that nature, you have some areas where expenditures are budgeted, but we know the employee may not be going to take health insurance. So there is a known amount of money that may come back, but that employee has the opportunity to take health insurance. Just remember how those sometimes work. But always strong to see 104% on revenues and 83% on expenditures. When we budget at 192 on the back side of those. Any questions in 101 at all? 111, again, coming in revenues at 102.5%, expenditures at 76.2%. I've noticed that clerk and masters are down throughout the entirety of it, so it just must have been less fines, I guess is the way that really. I did have the other statutory local taxes. We budgeted it at 70. We're coming in at 38. Line item 4390. Say it one more time.
Wholesale liquor.
That's the wholesale liquor tax. Or they're paying less taxes on it, one of the two. So that is wholesale liquor.
Some dealers out of Nashville, particularly liquor dealers, he said when those tariffs, if they hit, he said it's gonna really push up his product. He says, I doubt if I can stay there, because we've already seen a reduction in what we're selling now. And if those tariff hits, it's gonna be a lot more.
Never,
Everything. Cost of living is up considerably.
that's why I mentioned keep an eye on that sales tax one that we've been pretty dependent on. That's a big number for our county. Keep an eye on it. Looking at, and I'm sure Ms. Mahan, I saw walk in, could help us with how much of that's been attributed to the change, but it's, building permits have definitely come in strong. I know that change went into effect May, so any permits that were after May have paid at that new price. Right, first, yes, ma'am, agree with you. 100%, yes, ma'am. I wondered, and I'm sure we'll be able to see that in the future, but that we'll start seeing that line item. Now, remember, the majority is headed to one of 71 capital projects for the county moving forward. Any discussion in 111? If no further, moving on. 116 solid waste. You see your expenditures. Any questions? Was that 5 years? I believe we secured 5 years. We just did it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have 5 years now on that contract. I hope there's no clause in there that can increase X amount along the way, but my understanding it's 5 years total, locked in. Any questions in 116? If not, 118 might have already been there. Ambulance service coming in at 102% on revenues projections and expenditures at 90.1. Your next two pages have your breakdowns. I would ask this committee to continue to pay attention, and anybody here with emergency services, that line item 169, I believe can definitely help our community in terms of overtime when we're using those part-time personnel. Good line item to keep an eye on.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. They're
Copy, I'm sorry. Did we do a budget amendment for that at any time?
Didn't need to, 300s and down cover each other.
Okay. Rental oxygen. We bought a new oxygen compressor, right? A year ago. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around what this may be the cost of. We bought an oxygen compressor because the compressor went out to refill the SCB bottles, I believe is what they're called. We bought that. I agree. So what oxygen is this coming from?
That's on the trucks.
Gotcha.
I think there's.
I was trying to see if that could be used is what I was saying. Can we, I'm sorry.
There's 3 or 4 different gases that they use. And I don't think.
I know where you're at in this case. The green top bottles, the silver green top. Yeah, I'm where you are, but it's for fire. I was just trying to think of, could we use it in another place? I'm sorry. Just a thought. But if I can use it in the, I don't know, just thought, Commissioner Gregory.
Yes, I was gonna ask about line item 524, in-service staff development, budgeted 5,000, they spent a little over 9.
I'll actually turn my mic on for this one. This is a special case. So the EMT class that Trousdale County hosts, apparently in the confusion of agreeing to provide the location for this, we have to pay for the whole class and then we are reimbursed. So I know we had 2 employees, which would probably be the overage on that line item that took this class. and we were reimbursed for the other participants that were from other counties. That's kind of a sticking point with me this year.
So we billed other counties for the MT course.
It's just reimbursed into your revenues and not into your expenses. So it is back in the fund.
Who does the billing?
I do.
Okay. So we know those bills were, okay. I know they get busy. There's a lot of patient billing through that office, so I was making sure that we kept those separated. That's all I was doing. Well, of course, you remember they're on a 96 hour and a 120 hour, I believe it is, per month in their overtime schedule. So they're gonna get a 96 check and a 120 check of hours worked. So there's a lot of overtime in that. Yes, sir, most of that is. Now, there are some additional overtimes that are covering shifts that are not covered. Remember also that overtime line item also has the holiday pay in it to an extent. It's a good question. Good question. Our shifts are currently 24-hour shifts. I mean, in that, that's correct. And I think we're averaging 5 calls a day. So that's two trucks. I don't believe that's 10 calls. I believe that's 5 calls total a day is our average call volume right now. 2 shifts at 24 hours per shift. 4 people, takes 2 per truck. I think you are correct. There's a 24 on, I think is it 24 on, 48 off is what they're supposed to roll with, I believe is what it is. Yeah, 24 on, 48 off is what's supposed to happen. But even at that, they're scheduled 96 and 120 in a 2 week, in the pay periods. We pay on 26, correct? School pays on 24. That's why I was like, wait a minute. All right, any other questions here? Next up, 121, as I mentioned the last time, we keep calling this pass-through money, but I hope our community knows what we mean by that is even though this shows up in our budget, it is the core civic fund, which gets distributed since it is a private, and we won't get deep into those pieces, but it's a private entity. It gets paid to our county and our county handles the money over to that entity. It never shows up as our money. I only mention this because I found out that in our confusion, when you go look online, at Trousdale County's revenues, it looks like we make about 106 million. Well, I think the 70+ million of that is through core civic. So, and there's some others in there that we never touch either. So just being clear. To my understanding, no, sir. It's not sitting in a CD or anything with drawing interest. I'm sure it's sitting in a checking account where somebody's drawing interest. And I don't know when it's paid, to be honest with you.
There's no reason.
There you go. It comes in one day and is out the next. You're right. It's probably sitting over there drawing interest on it.
Sorry,
It has to be released on the state, does it?
the state releases it. The day we get it, I write the check the next day out of our.
Mr. Ford, in your mic, please. Gotcha.
About 3 years ago, we had, you probably remember, it, we had some money laying over there for them. They didn't know nothing about it. And finally, I believe me and you called and got it straightened out, and they got their money, and it was like $40,000-$50,000 been laying there for, I don't remember how long, but it's quite a while. I don't know why the state wouldn't release it. I don't remember now.
Like I said, it is pass-through money. It comes through, is sent to them as a check, moved on. They may be putting it in an account and drawing interest on it, but that's not our money to draw interest on it. I'm sure if they're smart, then they probably are drawing interest on that money. Correct. It is, I mentioned it as pass-through, but I want our county to understand, yes, it shows up. So does the water department when you go look, show up as revenues online generated to our account. That's not, I just want to make sure, I've just said it for a long time, pass-through, 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 but I want to make sure our community understands what we mean by pass-through. 122 county drug, it's another one of those, it's an up and down. You don't know what's coming in or going out. It did come in under budgeted revenues and way under on expenditures. 127 American Rescue and 128 both run with ARPA funds. Remember, these are not cash fund balances that are necessarily there, but they are ARPA funding accounts. I'll remind you again, Miss Amy has been assured that we are good on ARPA funding. We have checked it out. We are cashed out. We do not have to spend it in the next year. I think December something is when some people were worried about it.
Roughly, what do we have remaining in ARPA all told?
85. It's real close to 500,000. $151 debt service. Always looks good. Our county's in a pretty good spot with debt, and at least we know where to budget. We don't have to play with the fluctuating movement of interest rates.
We have all our debts locked in now with the machine.
I think everything that we can lock in is locked in. That's correct. I think that's correct. I will ask on 171, our capital projects, when will the payments into this start showing up from building permits?
Last month, this year we added to it, it's that 4285 line item, the adequate facilities.
That is just that piece, that 24.5. And that happened in the month from May to,
So it was May financial statements was the first time.
I should have paid a little more attention. That was from May to June total. 24,500 line item 4285 on page 39. Any further questions here? If not, your next one, remember we look at revenues only on the school fund side of things. Revenues came in at 103.8%. Any questions over trustees' cash balance statements or financial summaries? Have a move to approve all as presented. Have a second by Ms. Atwood. That was Commissioner Gregory, Chris Gregory on the motion. I know you heard it, but I want to make sure. Any discussion further? If not, all those in favor of the motion as stated, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? It is favorable. Moving next, we have, for the first time in a little while, no further discussions to have to discuss that I know of, unless somebody wants to bring anything to the table. I appreciate that motion. I will accept a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? I hear a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. No public here to be seen, so we're good to go. Actually, did you want to make any comment? I'm sorry. I know you're not public commission. Anybody want to make a comment? Public comment first? Got a motion and a second. I'll accept it. We'll move on. All those in favor, let me know by stating aye. We are adjourned. You have about a 25-minute recess here. Oh.